Hi everyone, it's Tatiana from Tatiana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. Today's dessert recipe is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day, but you don't have to wait until the holiday to make today's treat. Today I'm making my no-bake red velvet cheesecake minis and I'm going to top them off with some fresh berries and white chocolate to really take them to the next level. And every bite of this little mini dessert is so scrumptious, just melts in your mouth. That mousse-like no-bake cheesecake is so good, and I'm using Golden Oreos to make the crust. This dessert is so good, you guys are going to fall in love with it. Let's get started and I'll show you how to make them. Today I'm going to get started with my crust first. So for the crust I'm using some Golden Oreos, but you can really use any type of cookies that have a nice vanilla cream filling. So I have about 12 cookies. I'm going to place them into my food processor. I'm going to close this with my lid and then just give this a whirl until the cookies are broken down into crumbs. To my cookie crumbs, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of melted butter, and the butter is really just going to bind all those crumbs together. And I'm going to mix this again until that mixture comes together nicely. For this recipe, I'm going to be using a 24-count mini cupcake pan, and I've dropped paper liners into each cup. So to create the crust, I'm just measuring out 1 teaspoon of the cookie crumb mixture. Just drop it right in, and then use the back of the teaspoon to press the cookie crumbs into a nice firm layer. And you want it to be nice and firm so that when you take off the paper liner to eat the cheesecake, it doesn't fall apart. So make sure it's really set into there. And now that I have my crust ready, I'm gonna get started on my filling. So I have 2 bricks, 8 ounces each, so 16 ounces total of cream cheese, and I've softened this at room temperature. I'm gonna drop it into my mixer bowl here, and I'm gonna beat this on a medium speed for about 8 to 10 minutes until that cream cheese is really light and fluffy. To my beaten cream cheese, I'm gonna add the following ingredients. I have 1/3 cup of sour cream. It's gonna add a nice tangy flavor to our cheesecake filling. I've also melted 1/3 cup of white chocolate chips, and I'm going to add that melted chocolate right into that cheesecake, and this is going to give a really nice smoothness to our cake. And finally, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk. And then I'm going to turn my mixer back on and beat all these ingredients together for another 5 minutes, scraping down the sides of that bowl pretty often to get everything incorporated. And now it's time to add that iconic red velvet color. So first thing I'm going to do is add a tablespoon of dark cocoa powder. Drop that in. And then I'm going to add lots of red food coloring. So today I'm using gel red food coloring, which is very, very intense. Lots of red color. And now I'm just going to beat in that cocoa powder and the red food coloring. And then if needed, I'm going to add a little bit more red food coloring depending on how dark my batter is. I have my cheesecake filling all done, and now it's time to add the gelatin. So I'm using 1 tablespoon of gelatin. It's just 1 little packet of this unflavored powdered gelatin. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of boiling water. Just give this a mix to dissolve it. And I'm going to take this over to the microwave, and I'm going to microwave it for about a minute. I'm going to stir it every 10 seconds to get that gelatin completely dissolved. I just took my gelatin out of the microwave, so it's still hot and it's really nice and smooth. It's completely dissolved. Now before I add the gelatin into my cheesecake filling, I'm going to add some filling into my gelatin. And this process is called tempering. That way it doesn't all clump up in one ball when you drop it in. So I'm going to add some right into the gelatin. I'm going to grab my whisk here and just give this a good stir until it's really well combined. And now I'm going to add my tempered gelatin into the rest of the cheesecake filling. And I'm going to mix all this for a few more minutes, and then we'll be ready to fill our cheesecake minis. I'm going to grab a small scoop, and I'm going to drop the filling directly on top of the crust that we prepared earlier. I'm going to fill the little cup liners all the way to the top. And that's it for my cheesecake. So I'm just going to place these into the refrigerator, and they need to set for about 4 to 6 hours, or you could just leave them in the fridge overnight, and then we'll come back to garnish the top. I just took my mini cheesecakes out of the refrigerator, and now it's time to add our finishing touches. So I have some strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, and you can add a combination of any of those 3. For my last bit of garnish, I've melted some white chocolate and placed it into a Ziploc bag, and now I'm going to add a little drizzle of white chocolate to the top of each cheesecake mini. Just make sure to store them in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve them. And that's it for my no-bake red velvet cheesecake minis. Now today I used fresh berries and white chocolate, but for the holiday, you can add any type of garnish, maybe some hearts or truffles, or maybe even a combination of white and dark chocolate. Any of those are gonna look fantastic on these treats. All that's left to do is dig in and give them a try. Let me tell you guys, these cheesecake minis are gonna blow your minds. They're so good. I love the velvety smooth texture of the cheesecake filling. It's just so light and moussey and just melts in your mouth, combined with that crumbly golden Oreo crust, which is such a great complement to these treats. Just absolutely delicious. And I actually really enjoy the fresh berries on top. They add such a great flavor profile to these treats. A really great addition to the top. These little treats are going to be perfect for the holiday, but really anytime that you're looking for a fantastic dessert, give this recipe a try. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.